Welcome to the final skill station on this learning line. At this point, we have a complete work stream to manage our leave of absence process. We've tested it by going to our homepage and submitting a new form, but that's not how the form would be accessed in real life, right? An employee would typically access such a form from an intranet portal such as Sharepoint. So at this skill station, we are going to learn how to embed leave forms into your company's intranet. Start by going to the currently published version of your workstream. Unlock the stream, add some comments for the change logs. First, let's open our request form. In the request form configuration pop-up, click on the gear icon by the name of the form. Find the Generate Web Form URL option and click on it. PulpStream will generate a URL that can be copied onto your clipboard. Double-click it to copy it. You can also do a Command-C. And let's take a look at this URL. So if you paste that URL into a browser window, it will immediately take you to the leave request form. And this page right here does not require a login. We are going to fill out the form and submit it. Notice that the system is asking you to enter your email address. And this is needed to link the submitter to the workflow and to send notifications that are already in the workflow. But I already provided the email address, you say. I already have that field on the form, you say. Can't we just use that? Yes, you can. Let's learn how to make that happen. Go back to your request form. Double-click on the email address field. In the configuration pop-up, look for the binding field. Click on that, and the subsequent binding field detail pop-up shows the original title, name, and type fields that we declared when we first configured this form. Look at that name. It's email_address. So we are going to use this to append some parameters to our web form URL that the system generated for us. The parameter that we are going to append is this name. So let's do it in our Scratchpad first. So at the end of this URL, put an and user email equals email_address. Paste the modified URL into a browser window to test it out. We are going to fill out the form and submit it. Again, we are going to use actual employee numbers that we typed into the system so we don't get any errors. Hit the submit button, and this is our pre-submit alert. And this time, the form directly submits the request without asking for your email address. Success! Now, what if the URL was posted in a corporate portal that was authenticated? It's quite possible that the portal would already have that information, such as this email address, because the employee would have had to log in to access that corporate portal. If that's the case, we can supply the URL with additional parameters to pre-fill these fields, such as in the employee number and the email address. So if that's the experience for which you are configuring this stream, the parameters to pre-fill that information would be these right here, and I'm just going to use these as an example. So we would append these to the URL, copy that and paste that into a web browser to test it out. Notice that when you invoke a URL like this, the employee number and the email address are pre-filled. This ensures that employees will only be able to submit a leave request for themselves and never for others. So after submitting the form, the page will redirect to a landing page like this. It's pretty basic. To take the user to a specific URL after the form has been submitted, you can provide a done parameter in the URL, and that would be something like this. So let's append that to our URL. Customize this to suit your needs and your business culture. So next, let's take a look at that record that our user submitted a few moments ago. Where would you find it? It's not going to be in your records because you didn't submit it. Unless you're the manager of the employee who submitted the request, thus creating the record, it would not be in your task list for approval. So you will find the record in the Data Insights in the All Records tab. You can see that it was submitted by a guest with a specified address in the Created By column. You can click on a record to see its progress. And if you do open the details, you can see that a task has been assigned to the manager of the submitter. Hey, look, I have a task to do. Now, since I'm the manager for this employee, I would have received the email for this. And that email will look something like this. Thus concludes our URL modification skill station. Ready to learn more? Hop on another learning line to learn how to optimize business process management for other use cases. Subscribe to our YouTube page to get access to all our learning line playlists. Ride the Purple Express to learn ways to unleash your workforce at high speed.